My wife has been replaced by something that looks just like her. The first sign was the coffee. I stood frozen in the kitchen doorway that Tuesday morning, watching as Emily poured herself a cup of black coffee. No cream, no sugar. Exactly how I drink mine. Except, Emily hated coffee. I never touched it in 10 years we'd been married. Her hands moved with strange precision as she lifted the mug to her lips, her eyes looking onto mine over the rim as she took a slow, deliberate sip. A thin trail of dark liquid trickled down her chin, but she didn't even wipe it away. She kept staring, smiling. "Since when did you drink coffee?" I asked, my voice sounding too loud in the heavy silence. Her head tilted slightly to the left, just a fraction too far. "I felt like trying something new," she said. The words were right, but the cadence was wrong. Each syllable fell from her lips with unnatural precision, like someone had taught her how to speak, but hadn't quite mastered human inflection. That night, I woke up to the sensation of being watched. Moonlight streamed through the bedroom window, casting long shadows across the walls. Emily stood beside the bed, her faces inches from mine. Her breath smelled faintly of copper and something earthy. Rotten. She wasn't blinking. "Emily?" My throat tightened around her name. "You looked so peaceful," she whispered. Her fingers grazed my cheek, ice cold against my skin. "I wanted to watch you sleep." Her pupils were too large, black pools that swallowed the moonlight whole. When she leaned closer, I saw it. The way her eyelids didn't quite close all the way when she blinked. A sliver of white always remained. The changes accelerated. I found her wedding ring in the garbage disposal. The metal twisted into an unrecognizable shape. When I confronted her, she ran her tongue over her teeth, very slowly, before answering. "It was bothering me," she said, rubbing her bare finger. The skin beneath was smooth, unmarked, as if the ring had never been there at all. Then came the nightmares. I'd wake up to the sound of wet, tearing noises from the kitchen. I'd wake to the sound of wet, tearing noises from the kitchen. 3 nights in a row, I found her hunched over the counter, her face buried in a package of raw meat. Blood smeared across her lips and chin as she turned to me, a chunk of glistening red flesh dangling from her fingers. "Do you want some?" she asked, her voice guttural, almost hungry. The worst part, her teeth. They were sharper. Yesterday I checked her phone. The screen lit up with a gallery of photos, hundreds of them, all of me, sleeping, showering, standing in the backyard with my back turned. The timestamps spanned weeks, months. The most recent was taken 5 minutes prior. A close-up of my face from inside the closet. My blood turned cold. Behind me, the closest door stood slightly ajar. Last night, I finally snapped. Who the hell are you? I demanded, backing away as she stepped towards me. Her movements were too fluid, too precise, like a marionette learning how its strings worked. She smiled. Too wide. Too many teeth. "I'm your wife," she whispered, her voice layered with something else, something beneath her words. Then she was in front of me, her cold hands framing my face. Her breath smelled like old meat and damp soil.
"But you shouldn't have noticed,"
she murmured, her lips brushing my ear. Somewhere in the house, a door creaked open. I'm writing this from my car, the engine still running. Through the living room window, I can see her, standing perfectly still in the dark. The street lights don't touch her, don't cast a shadow. In one hand, she holds a knife. In the other, my wedding ring. She's smiling, and she's not blinking.